Real quickly before we begin, I want to thank this video's sponsor, carmarshal.com. Carmarshal.com can save you lots of money on buying used or new vehicles, cars, trucks, school buses. If you want to save money, I'll have a link in the description down below. I know I'm going to...
But first tonight, students and parents at a downtown Denver charter school want answers after Denver police searched their school. Good evening, I'm Andrew Heath.
And I'm Shannon Ogden. Denver police are defending their actions tonight. Denver 7's Jacqueline Allen, though, spoke with the school's principal, who calls the police liars.
We heard the police going up and down the hallways.
What happened at Rise Up Community School 3 weeks ago left half the students scared to come back.
They don't feel safe coming to school because they don't want guns to be pointed to them.
17-year-old Mary Haymans was in class when Denver police came in.
They were irritated, mad.
In a statement released this afternoon, DPD says officers were looking for an attempted first-degree murder suspect inside the school, a possible threat to students and staff.
There are people lying.
Rise Up principal Lucas Ketzer says police didn't say a word about a threat. He checked and found the student wasn't in the building, but officers insisted on searching every classroom anyway. When one teacher looked out the back door, he says 3 officers drew weapons on her. DPD states officers that were inside did not draw their weapons at any point.
That's the language that they decided to use, and that they omitted drawing their guns at one of our teachers. I want people to be held accountable.
Social justice advocates have lingering questions now about what they call police overreach that day, which is why tomorrow night they'll ask the Denver Public School Board to investigate.
Students were attending the school 3 weeks ago that aren't going anymore because of this incident, and that's alarming to me.
I feel like our school needs an apology.
In Denver, Jacqueline Allen, Denver 7.
Cops raid school, hold teacher at gunpoint, terrify kids to look for an absent student. A group of police officers has been accused of conducting a raid at a school with guns drawn, interrogating students, and then lying about the incident. By Rachel Blevins, May 19, 2018. Denver community members are horrified after they say police officers conducted a classroom-to-classroom search with guns drawn and interrogated teachers and students in a charter school, all to look for a student who was absent. While the police department released a statement justifying the incident, teachers are claiming that police are lying to save face. The staff and students were traumatized. Lucas Ketzer, principal at Rise Up Community School, told the Denver Post as he described the way a group of police officers raided the building in their search for a student who was not in attendance. Officers stormed the school and began searching the classrooms, and Ketzer said that when a science teacher told officers they could not search her room without a warrant, they pushed her aside, and entered the classroom, where they pulled students out of their chairs, removed their hats and asked them for their IDs as they searched. When I was sitting in class, they came bursting in, and then they were like in everybody's faces, like looking at us, and I felt so unsafe, student Mary Haymans told Padres and Jóvenes Unidos. She said the officers singled one student out, grabbed him by the arm, and forced him to remove his hat so that they could compare him to the photo of the student they were targeting. The principal also told the Post that the officers scoured the building with their guns drawn, and when a faculty member opened a back door to check for students, multiple officers pointed their guns at her. However, when the Denver Police Department released a statement responding to the incident, it claimed that the officers that were inside did not draw their weapons at any point during the search for the suspect. On April 24, 2018, Denver police officers responded to Rise Up Community School in search of a suspect wanted for attempted first-degree murder. This incident occurred the night before in another metro area jurisdiction. Officers received information that the suspect was in the school, and given the nature of the allegations, believed the suspect posed a possible threat to students and staff. When officers arrived, they set up outside of the school to ensure the suspect did not leave the building. Given the imminent and potentially dangerous circumstances, and confirmation from a staff member that the suspect was inside, a warrant was not required to search inside the building for the suspect. While the statement claimed that police worked with the principal to eventually gain access to the building, and then after the raid, Staff met with the principal to discuss the situation and offered a follow-up meeting. Teachers and faculty members at the school are insisting that the opposite is true. Ketzer told ABC7 that police never told him there was any threat, and when he told the officers that the student they were looking for was not at the school, they refused to believe him and proceeded to search every classroom in the building. Those lies put the safety of 100 students at risk, and those lies are meant for them to save face. I want people to be held accountable, Ketzer said. The school principal also noted that the majority of the students at Rise Up Community School came to the charter school after they had struggles at other schools, many of which involved bad experiences with police. As a result, Ketzer said he is concerned that being interrogated by officers when they were attempting to learn in school would only serve to further destroy the students' trust in police. Padres and Jóvenes Unidos is condemning the incident and calling it an example of why police should not be given open access to schools. In a statement, the organization called for an investigation and accused the Denver Police Department of choosing to put students and teachers in harm's way. After being informed by the administration that the student was not at school, DPD waited approximately 15 minutes, during which time they conferred with the DPS Department of Safety before conducting a search. They refused to produce a warrant when asked, and armed officers went from classroom to classroom harassing students and staff. At one point weapons were drawn on a member of the faculty, the statement said. Footage of the police raid on the school has yet to be publicly released. If you would like to contact the Denver Police Department to voice your opinion on this incident, call 720-913-2000 or visit the department's Facebook page.
When I was singing in class, they had came in like bursting through the door, like all crazy, and then they were like in everybody's face, like looking at us, and I felt so unsafe, like beyond unsafe. And they were like, they had grabbed a student by his arm and lifted him up in class, and they were like, "We need you to take off your hat, please." And he took off his hat, and they were like, "He looks like him." And then the other cop was like, "No, he doesn't." And at that point, I was like, this is not okay.
The cops had came into to our science classroom and knocked on the door asking the teacher if they could search the classroom, and then she said no. Then we were just chilling there watching a movie. Then like 5 minutes later, all these officers start bursting in. Our teacher was trying to block off the way. Our teacher, Sarah, she was trying to block off the way, and one of the officers groped her arm with force and pushed her out the way. Then they started rushing into the back of the room.
You know, they should let the police know next time to bring a warrant and not distract kids like that again. They should just warn or talk to the DPS first before they go into the school, because that's not even cool. Going in and distracting kids. We're trying to learn. We're trying to get our credits and just get stuff done, but mostly, I guess, kids don't want to come to school anymore because, that kind of situation happened.
I remember I was going to school and there was 2 cops in the back, 4 in the front, 2 over here. It was just crazy.
It felt like I was just walking on the street and got a gun pointed towards me. Like anything could have happened. And they didn't inform any of our parents or nothing. And for that, it was just crazy.
Yeah, I think it's sad. It impacts a lot. It impacted my dad. My dad told me, he was like, "Well, do you still want to go there? Do you feel safe there?"
It does bother other students because then it makes them feel like they're not in a safe area to be coming to school with. And then some students might even feel like they maybe even been in life-threatening situations with police officers before, so maybe that had triggered something for them in the past.
Hey Charlotte County, this is Charlotte County COPWATCH, and I just wanted you to know that I am using this stuff under fair use. And also remember to like and subscribe this channel. Also too, keep in mind I do not make any money on YouTube. This is 5 hours work a day, you know, fighting for freedom. And you can donate with PayPal and Patreon. I just want you to think about this. If everybody gives to PayPal and Patreon, Patreon is every month. Actually, PayPal you can do every month. I have 12,000 subscribers. If everybody gives, I can quit my regular job and go full-time investigations on Charlotte County and possibly even more and beyond. So just keep that in mind. If everybody helps out, I can go full-time doing this. Thanks.